back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions Edition. After just a wild game in the Smith Center on Monday night, Tar Heels win it 75-71. And our Rapid Reactions podcast is brought to you by our good friends at Modelo, an official beer of the Tar Heels. And Jones Adam here with you. Adam, there's so many parts to this game. But you can't start anywhere else other than R.J. Davis. 42 points. First time since 2011 that a Tar Heel has scored 40 or more. Harrison Barnes did it against Clemson in the ACC tournament. First time since Tyler Hansbrough in 2006 against Georgia Tech that a Tar Heel has scored 40 or more points in the Smith Center. It is the most points scored by a Tar Heel since 1970. Charles Scott had 43 points in a game against, I believe it was Maryland. RJ ties that because Shammond Williams also had 42 in a game against Georgia Tech in 1998. And you're getting to look at all these shots. I mean, there were a lot of three-pointers in there, certainly. He made 7 threes, 7 twos, 7 free throws. And, Adam, all of that is awesome. And R.J. Davis was awesome. All-time performance. I'm still talking just so you can watch all of these threes because they were incredible. But here's the thing, Adam, the concerning thing. The Tar Heels needed all 42 of those points to win this game. So we can get there in a second. What a performance by R.J. Davis.
Just one of the best offensive performances I've ever seen from any Tar Heel.
Yes.
It wasn't, especially because it wasn't like he just got hot from 3 and made 12 or something. The way he did it from 3 and 2 and getting to the free throw line just shows you how far he's come, all the work he's put in. He reminded me of one of those UConn guards, like a Kemba Walker or something.
Yeah, who just going to put the whole team on his back and go win it.
Which he did, and you'll hear Hubert Davis say that exact thing, that he just put the entire team on his back, which he did because there was no one else who really was capable of winning this game other than him.
Yeah.
But luckily, he was here, and it was incredible. I really do think, we talked about this off the air, I think if you were in the building, you're going to remember this differently than if you were watching on TV. If you were in the building, you're going to remember that electric feeling when he crossed over the defender and hit the long 3 and the crowd chanting his name and just the anticipation of, is he going to get the ball? What's he going to do? And if you're at home, you might be more thinking about those last couple minutes when things got dicey.
Well, yes, there is a whole nother aspect to this game. Adam, it was almost as though Carolina kind of was just annoyed by Miami. It was like, okay. Like, we're going to win this game. You just, like, Carolina, until the very end, you never really felt like Carolina was threatened. The Tar Heels would lead by 6. Then Miami might cut it to 2. And then Carolina get it out to like 9. And Miami would get it to 4. And Miami hit 14 threes in this game, and this was without two of their best players, in Wooga Poplar and Nigel Pack. So full credit to Miami. 14 threes, most by a Tar Heel opponent this year. But it was almost as though Carolina, and I don't want to act, I mean, it's not like Carolina wasn't trying. That's not what I'm saying. But it wasn't fully engaged outside of R.J. Davis just being incredible. And the numbers kind of show that. I mean, Cormac Ryan was 3 of 13 and 1 of 9. Harrison Ingram was 3 of 13 and 1 of 5. Armando Bacot only took 4 shots and was 1 of 6 at the free throw line. These are all, as we know, key parts of Carolina being good this year. And so it just kind of felt like Carolina was like, keeping them at arm's length. And then all of a sudden, R.J. Davis had like the final push of his incredible performance, and Carolina went up 13. And it was as though the Tar Heels were so much more excited for that than finishing out the game. All of a sudden, Miami goes on an 11-0 run. The Tar Heels, I think, turned it over 3 times in the backcourt, which led to 3 threes. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point game, and Carolina was very much in peril of losing. Just a crazy game.
I think the frustrating thing was you wouldn't expect an older team to get caught up in it the way that they did in some of the individual stuff. But on the one hand, you hate to blame them too much because they were so happy for their teammate.
Right.
And were trying to get him more and more and more. Like, you like that part of it, but what you like the most is when you win the game. And it was as though they almost kind of forgot about that part of the game the way that a young team would. But, I mean, the last couple minutes, I think everybody just kind of shut down when R.J. Davis went over 40, and then you looked up and it was a 2-point game. It was like, well, wait a second.
Yeah. We're going to get to our interviews. I talked to Hubert Davis. Adam talked to R.J. Davis. I did just want to mention some big plays down the stretch, rebounding-wise. Ingram did not shoot well, but he had some big plays for Carolina in the second half, and not even just rebound. He slapped out a couple of missed free throws, had a steal and a layup when things had gotten a little wobbly, had another – there was some other
stolen inbounds pass.
Yes, the stolen inbounds pass. He did a lot of things to help Carolina win, and I thought Jalen Withers was a big part of this win for Carolina. Not only did he, after Carolina had missed 5 straight free throws with a chance to ice the game in the final seconds, Withers finally was the one who stepped to the line and made 2 free throws to, for all intents and purposes, in the game. I thought those guys, again, Ingram didn't shoot well, but he did things to help Carolina win, and I thought that was one of Withers' 11 and a half minutes, and he was impactful.
And he was important in the first half.
Yeah.
On the glass, just energy, blocked a shot. He was drawing fouls even when he wasn't scoring.
Yeah.
So that version of Jalen Withers is a difference maker for Carolina.
Okay, let's get to Coach Davis, then R.J. Davis, and we'll come back and wrap it up. Tar Heels win it 75-71 behind one of the best individual performances in the last several decades for Carolina basketball, 42 from R.J. Davis. Let's check out the interviews here on the Carolina Insider. Here with Coach Davis after Carolina holds on 75-71 against Miami in the Smith Center. Coach, a lot to talk about after this game. A lot happened in this game. Let's start with it seems like you're not real happy, even though the Tar Heels get out of here with a win. Your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow's off, and I'm looking forward to watching the entire game on Wednesday with the team to start practice.
Let's start with some good. R.J. Davis with an all-time performance, 42 points. It is career high for him. It is the most in a game by a Tar Heel since 1970. Just an incredible individual effort by R.J. tonight.
He put the entire team on his back. I mean, he was unbelievable tonight on both ends of the floor. The way that he competed defensively, getting rebounds, his ability to be able to knock down shots, create space offensively. He was, from the start, the one guy from an offensive standpoint that had just tremendous rhythm. I told him after the game, I've seen a number of games, obviously, here in the NBA. There's very few times I've seen a performance like that. I'm really happy for RJ and on the national stage for people to see not only what an awesome game that he had, but yes, he hadn't scored 42 points, but this has been RJ all year. What an unbelievable, unprecedented year that RJ has had. And so I'm glad that a lot of people were able to see that.
You've talked about the importance of rebounding all season.
Yeah. Just the little things. And I told the guys in the locker room, it's not going to show up on Instagram. It's not going to be on their story, and it's not going to be on ESPN. But the little things that make big things happen, like Jay Witt knocking down those 2 free throws, Jay Witt and Harrison keeping the ball alive, offensive rebound off of free throws. Told them there's a championship battler in 2017, not just because the team won against Gonzaga, is because the team got it done in the semifinals against Oregon and got 2 offensive rebounds, did the little things off of 2 free throws. So I told them that it's not going to be on SportsCenter, and it's probably not going to be mentioned in the paper, but those plays that they made, the little details, were just as important as RJ's 42.
Seems like you're pretty hot. I'm guessing you did not enjoy the way your team closed those last couple of minutes.
No, not just the close, just what's at stake here. One of the things that I always say is your job or responsibility is 2 things. It's always 1, to show up, and 2, give your best. And we get back home where somebody told me a stat that we had 7 home games in 80-something days, and now we get 3 home games in 9 days, and having an opportunity to play in front of this crowd. The fans were amazing. The students were amazing. They helped us on every possession the entire game, and to be at home, and you have to give credit to Miami. I know that they were down 2 starters, but Miami is one of the better teams in the country. They went to the Final Four last year. They've got NBA players on their team, and they played a terrific game. And the problems that we had were in large part because of them, by their talent and the way that they played. So, Miami is a great basketball team.
Coach, last thing, you said you wanted to watch a large majority of the game with the whole game. What kind of things will you be interested to see when you watch that with your guys?
Just the little things, the discipline and details, the energy and effort, the toughness plays that we all talk about that make big things happen, and the little things are under that category is, boxing out, feeding the post below free throw line extended, not leading the post player, bounce pass and throwing it to his hands, taking care of the basketball, making free throws, setting screens, coming off those screens, making the easy play, limiting turnovers, little details like that make big things happen. And I'm looking forward to later this week to be able to watch that with the team.
Carolina survives Miami tonight, guys. 42 points for R.J. Davis, and Carolina wins at 75-71. Coach, thank you for your time as always.
Thank you, Jones. I appreciate it.
That's Hubert Davis, guys. Continental Tire, Coach's Corner.
You may have guessed. We're talking to R.J. Davis after the game. He scored 42 points. No one in the history of the Smith Center has ever scored that many points in a game. R.J., tell us a little bit about scoring 42 and what that feels like.
I mean, it's great. I think I'm just speechless. Like, I don't think it fully hit me yet. Just in terms of just me scoring that many points, especially here at the Dean Smith Center, and just the amount of great and iconic players that played here. I'm just grateful for the opportunity, grateful for my play and the way I just did it, and for us to pull that one through. I'm super grateful and super happy for it.
When did you first realize people seem to be cheering a lot? I think I have a lot of points.
Yeah, I think I heard once I got to 39, I started hearing RJ chants and then MVP chants when I got to the free throw line, hit both free throws. So, I never heard. I heard R.J. Davis chants throughout the Smith Center before, but I feel like today was even more meaningful.
You are a very wet individual right now. How did your teammates celebrate your big night?
Yeah, I love them. They're literally my brothers, and they cheered me on, and obviously I looks like I was in the pool. They got me on the court, and then they got me in the locker room. But that just shows how much of a family we are, and it's never about just one person. We always want to see each other win, and they show a lot of love today.
Nobody scored more than you since Charlie Scott 54 years ago for Carolina. People don't score this amount of points anymore. What's the biggest obstacle to having big individual performances like this in today's game of basketball?
I would say the main challenging part is just continue to keep going. I know if you have a hot first half, a lot of teams will try to slow you down in the second half. But my mindset was to continue to be aggressive, continue to be confident, look for my shot, not kind of just shy away from the moment and fade away. I know the team needed me to score in the second half, and to continue to keep my foot on the gas. I know sometimes I could be inconsistent with that, but I also felt great going to the game. My mental was there. I had a lot of energy, and I just told myself it was going to be one of those games, and it came out to be one of those games.
Danny Green once said, "It's not just that we did it; it's the way we did it." Yeah. You made 7 twos, 7 threes, and 7 free throws. Mm-hmm. What does that say about
all 7?
7, 7, 7.
Nah, that's crazy.
What does that say about just the way your game is developed and the different ways you're putting the ball in the basket right now?
Well, first and foremost, 7. So 7 is a family number to me, and it's 7's been in my family. Any number, just somehow 7 always appears. So for that to be the way I scored 42, it was crazy, but. I totally forgot the question. But I just think just the way I was able to get to the basket, be confident with my shot, because I had an off game against UVA, but for me to just kind of stay the path and come out to this game today, I think it just boosts my confidence even more, especially when we're going to March. But, credit to my teammates. They always keep telling me to keep going, and even when I'm not shooting well, they tell me to keep shooting. And if you don't have teammates that believe in you like that, then I don't think you could, win games like us.
The closing minutes maybe weren't great. Plenty other days to talk about that. We'll talk about that with some other folks. Today was about this guy right here scoring 42 points. RJ, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So again, 75-71, the final score. And Adam kind of lost in, again, hard to explain how just weird this game was. A huge win for Carolina as far as the ACC is concerned. It guarantees a double bye in the ACC tournament. Carolina now a game and a half ahead of Duke. Blue Devils play at home against Louisville on Wednesday, so a likely win for Duke. But it keeps Carolina ahead of the Blue Devils. 3 games now ahead of Virginia in third place with 3 games to go, and you have the tiebreaker. Now Wake is kind of in that mix too, but basically Carolina's put itself in great position to be either the number 1 or the number 2 seed in the ACC tournament, and a great position to win the ACC regular season title, which has been stated publicly, according to Hubert Davis, very important to him and his team.
If you just went out at home, you've got a share of the regular season championship, which is a big deal. Hubert Davis sat right in here and said he's talked to the team about the importance of putting a banner up there, the importance of being remembered, and that's how you get remembered at Carolina. Tar Heels in great position to be able to do that.
Next step in that journey comes Saturday at 4 o'clock. Carolina hosts NC State. Should be, I mean, what an atmosphere that's going to be. A Saturday afternoon, State in town. Tar Heels have won 3 consecutive games now after some wobbly moments there in February. But also, Adam, and I think if you've been with us this whole Rapid Reactions, you saw it in Hubert Davis, clearly the Tar Heels are going to have some spirited practices this week.
Don't think there'll be any letdown of focus on Saturday, as the Tar Heels will be off on Tuesday, and then they'll come back Wednesday for what I'm guessing will be a heated practice, probably Thursday too, and then Friday start thinking about NC State.
For tonight, 42 points from R.J. Davis, tied for the 10th most in Carolina history. And again, only Charles Scott has scored more points than that since Bob Lewis set the school record with 49 in 1966. Incredible that record has stood so long, and only Charles Scott has scored more than R.J. Davis in that time period since then. Shamon Williams scored 42 as well, so equal those two, but no one has done more since the school record was set. Charles Scott did it by 1 more point than R.J. Davis tonight. Crazy.
And think about all the great players who've played in that span.
Great players. Jameson, Carter, Hansbrough, Ford. I mean, incredible.
Hansbrough.
Did I not say Hansbrough?
Oh, maybe I didn't think so. But
Barnes, Zeller, Lawson, Barry. I mean, just crazy.
None of them did it.
Yeah.
And of all the people to do it, R.J. Davis did it. If you had said that a couple years ago, no one would have believed you.
If there was any more discussion, ACC Player of the Year.
Oh, just
first team All-America? I mean,
who else is going to be on the team?
Right. All right. 75-71, Carolina wins it. Thanks for being with us. It's been not as rapid as normal, but it was a crazy game. Edition of the Carolina Insider presented by Modelo.